Concept 15 is graphing polynomials. So on number 14, we're given a number line representation, and we need to write the polynomial that corresponds with that. So an easy way to start this, if you want to picture what the graph would look like, is just draw the graph over the number line. So we know shaded is positive, so I'm going to start above to show positive. At -5, moving onwards to the right, it stays positive. So I'm going to bounce off to stay positive. And at -2, after -2, the graph becomes negative. And because it's not shaded. And then it's still not shaded after 0. So I'm going to bounce again and keep the graph negative. So when you're writing the equation, we need to look at the end behavior to determine whether the leading coefficient is a positive or a negative. The end behavior is negative, so I'm going to start my equation with a -1. And we know the roots of the equation based on the values that are given here. These roots tell me that x plus 5 will be one of my factors. And we're bouncing at x equals -5, so I need a squared. X plus 2 is another factor, but I'm not bouncing, so the exponent will stay as a 1. And at 0, if my root is at 0, that means I need an x. And I'm bouncing at that root, so it will be squared. So this is the polynomial that corresponds with that number line. In number 15, we're given a function and we need to graph the function. The degree we determine by adding up the exponents of the x's. So we have squared, cubed, and to the first. So 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6. And using the zero product property, our roots are at x equals 0, when x minus 4 equals 0, and when x plus 2 equals 0. So I have a root at 0, a root at +4, and a root at -2. So let's go ahead and start by plotting the roots, or the x-intercepts, 0, 4, and -2. And we also can note here that we're going to have a bounce at -2. So I'm going to just make a note of that here. And we're also going to go through slowly at x equals 4. So I'm going to just make a note here that we'll go through slowly at x equals 4. At x equals 0, it's just going to go through. So let's start by drawing the end behavior of the graph. This is a +1 as the leading coefficient, which means the end behavior is positive. We noted here that at 4, we're going to go through slowly. So we're going to have a slight bend in the graph here. At 0, I'm going to just go through. So let's adjust this a little bit so that we can go through at 0. And at -2, I have a bounce. So once I get here, we bounce off.